Hi, once again. In this video, we're going to delve into the answer how to get power in a baseball swing. Again, a number of these videos are going to share some similar points, hoping to focus on some little slightly different aspects. Because in this particular case, when we're talking about power, we're talking about ball exit velocity and that ability to drive the ball deep into a ballpark, home runs, extra base hits, that aspect. So we'll be delving into the answer to that question next. First part of this video, we're going to be looking at the rotational nature of the swing and how important that rotational aspect is for generating power. We're then going to look at Newton's law, force equals mass times acceleration, and how does that factor into hitting a baseball with power. Third, we're going to talk about training your body to be able to move your body through that rotational aspect of the swing quickly, fluidly, and with power. And fourth, we're going to talk about how to do all that and be on time, on plane, and in rhythm, the crucial aspects for being able to hit. And as part of that, we'll talk about this modern day terminology about launch angle. So we'll discuss that. And then, of course, in the last section, we're going to take a look at a real life modern day hitter who exemplifies all of those things. Yep. So in hitting circles, there is some controversy, I guess, for lack of better terms, between linear hitting or rotational hitting. Which is it? And when you look at their arguments, they are, I think, looking at two sides of the same coin. So without going into details on that specific argument, unquestionably, the hips and core is rotating through the swing. That's what's driving the swing. And when you look at, if you look at Ted Williams' book, The Science of Hitting, look at some of the diagrams in there, that's exactly what he's showing. So it's that nature of the swing, that rotation of the hips. When you can do that more quickly, the head of the bat has to keep up with that rotation around what is relatively your spine, right? So your spine not very big in terms of circumference. And that's what you're kind of rotating around, that center aspect of your body. So for the head of the bat to keep up with your core rotating around that, it has to move that much faster. And that's the multiplier effect that we'll talk about in rotational mechanics. So your ability to move quickly in that rotational aspect of the swing is what's going to drive the head of the bat or accelerate that through the zone, and it will allow you to wait longer, be able to see the ball better, see what's being thrown before you actually launch the swing. So how does Newton's law come into play here? Well, ideally, there is the right size bat for the individual. The bigger, stronger you are, the heavier the bat, you ought to be able to move quickly through the zone. You need to be able to move quickly. If the bat is heavy enough or too heavy to slow your ability to get those hands through, your hands tend to drag behind the rotation of the rest of your body, your bat's probably too heavy. But the bottom line is you want to be able to take a decent sized bat and move it as quickly as possible, that's the acceleration, through that hitting zone to maximize the force being applied to the baseball. And there are ways to analyze just that as far as your individuality, and the size bat that you can do. But the size bat cannot interfere with your ability to accelerate through that zone. When it does, your bat's too big, and you need to take a look at that. So when you're training your body, any strength and conditioning guy worth their salt, in this modern day world of understanding biomechanics, is going to help you train your ability to rotate through. Your core is crucial in that. so is it the flexibility of your core and your hips in particular. Your ability to move those fluidly and quickly is what's going to generate the power, because that's what generates the acceleration of the bat. So you need to train the core. That's leg strength, that's stomach, lower back, but yes, also shoulders, arms, and hand strength. You need to train it all. But if you train in a way that's not well thought out and just start bench pressing and doing shoulder presses and all these other exercises to build strength and power and muscle, you could very well lose the fluidity and flexibility that's so necessary. There's one case, and this is my own personal opinion here, but a number of years ago, the Texas Rangers had a player on the team who was a young star coming up and had some really good numbers. And he hit the weight room, and he got bigger, and he got stronger, and he bulked up, and you could like see it. And his statistics declined. They got worse. His injury rate went up. And in the view of myself and others, there are other people who wrote about this, he actually bulked up too much and lost that fluidity and flexibility that was crucial for the baseball swing. And it took a little while for him, I think, to realize that or get some better advice or what have you. But when he lost some of that excess weight, some of his stats began to go up. And that player was Ruben Sierra. So you could kind of look and see some decline in those statistics and how they paralleled with his bulking up, probably improperly. So the other aspect of this for developing power is being on plane, in rhythm, and on time with a swing. Right? The ideal hit in baseball really is a line drive home run. It's a line drive, so you got a launch angle somewhere, 40 degrees roughly, and that is going to keep your head of the bat on plane longer, and with the most force, you're going to be able to hit that ball well over 300 feet on a line for a home run. So launch angle plays into this. And again, the nature of the pitch also is going to help determine how well you can be on plane. But line drives, people who hit line drives in the MLB have far higher batting averages than any other hit. Fly balls, outfielders can chase it down. Ground balls, the fielders tend to get to them. Line drives, hard hit line drives, are where you have the highest batting averages. So line drives in the gaps or extra base hits, line drive over the fence, home run, that is what you're shooting for. That's that power aspect. And to do that consistently requires you being on time, on plane, and in rhythm. So for a real life example, we're going to look at the modern day hitting giant. And I use that both metaphorically and realistically, in that Aaron Judge is a 6'7", 280 plus pound baseball player. That's really big for a baseball player. So with his size, he has strength and he has power. But one of the things that really turned him into an elite hitter is that ability to wait on pitches and generate that rotational acceleration of the bat head. He consistently hits the ball harder than just about anybody in the game. He's consistently hitting hard line drives into the gap or over the fence. So he's hitting for average and he's hitting for power. So his ability to wait on the ball and rotate through the swing, getting the leverage of his size and his frame, is what really helps him to generate those, both the batting average and the power that he's become noted for. I invite you to subscribe to our channel, check out all our other videos. In particular, in this series, you might be interested in checking out the video, how to get better at hitting a baseball. So go check that video out today, and I will see you in the next one.